that has no break. So my advice is, if you're ready for your exam, not just yet, but go to the loo before your exam, get yourself a bottle of water, have a pad of paper next to yourself that is blank. I know that sounds obvious to most people, but believe you me, we've had people that have gone into an exam and had a not blank pad, and that pad has contained information on there with some maths formulas and things like that. So yeah, don't do that, because it becomes an instant fail, and then that's like, oh my God, I've got to take it again, and it's like puts a bit of pressure on you. So yeah, we're looking at 30 minutes non-calc. If you've got any questions at any time, don't hesitate to say, Steve, what are you talking about? Steve, I didn't get it. Can you help me? I'm like, my mind's gone blank. Please, 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 just shout out. And what I'll do is tomorrow I'll go back to doing some level two stuff, and so you can see the difference. So the level one questions are not as involved. However, they're still looking at the same activities. So they're still looking at fractions, they're still looking at decimals, they're still looking at, so all the same topics are involved. You're just probably going to see better or more rounded numbers on level one. So if you're working towards a level two, absolutely these questions are really good practice to kind of get that confidence up and really get going. And the website, which I sent on the email last night, I'll send it on again tonight. It's all the same. It's the same website for both level one and level two. So it's just up to you which one you choose to have a go at. Okay, so let's have a go. 1 mark. Storage units. Safia works for a company that rents out storage units. She does this calculation to work out how much money to charge a customer. 52 times by £25.49 equals £1,325.48. Which calculation should she do to check her answer? So we're looking for a number that contains these numbers. So if we look at that one, 52 divided by 1,000, I mean, it is a possible, but it's not, is it? Because this is going to be bigger. We want 52 divided by, well, it wouldn't happen, would it? So it's not that one. 52 divided by, again, so it's not that one, because we've already got it times by. So if you look at this one, it's definitely going to be times it by, is it? Because it's divided by, because it's times it by on the actual example. It could be a divide. It could be a divide, because we've all got divides, but 25. Go, Emily.
You're not sharing a screen.
Oh, well, that's very useful to tell me then, isn't it? I mean, I've just gone.
I don't know what you were talking. I'm thinking
5 minutes in, 5 minutes and 42 seconds, and it's taking you 5 minutes and 42 seconds to tell me. No wonder you're not going to get this question right, because you can't even see it right. So we've gone through all three of these, and we've realised that there's one that can only be this one. We've gone backwards, look. So we've looked at that one. It's got 1,325 in there, and it's got a divide by. So it's saying that if that number is divided by this one, it's going to be that one. And if that number divided by that one will be this one. So definitely we've got a backwards calculation. So when it asks you for a checking, so a check or a reverse.
Have I done this with you?
Maybe. So if you don't get 15 out of 15.
I recognise it.
Good.
I'm thinking.
But that's where you need to be doing these sort of activities.
Yeah.
Not more than once like that, but so you're getting used to the feel of where I can type my answer. What do I do? How can I put it in there? So when you see the word check or reverse, you're looking for normally the end answer, which is last, first, because we're going in reverse. So if we're doing that in reverse, we have to have that. I can't draw on this piece of screen, but we have to have that number first, because that's the last one. If we're going to go backwards, we have to start with that one, and that is the only one that starts with that number. So when we're checking a calculation where it says do a reverse check, literally go backwards, and that's what we've done. So that's that one. And 1 mark. I mean, that should have been like, yeah, done. Capiche. And again, Safia needs to calculate how many boxes are in one of the storage units. Calculate a straightforward math question. We've got 7 squared, which
That's
means
14 squared. No.
It's 7 squared. 7 squared, which is 7 times 7, which is 49.
Yeah.
Times
Yeah.
7 equals
I
49.
don't know how I got 14.
It's only 1 mark as well. It's still 1 mark, so we're not having to do too much in this working out box. If we know what 7 squared means, if we know what that little indices means there, I wouldn't even bother writing that in there. I'll just write my answer in there and carry on. Don't waste time. It hasn't asked you to show your working. It says a space for working. Okay, so those of you who have had a look at, you might recognize this question. We've got,
Yeah.
but if I ask you the answer, would you know it? Right, so Jack wants to rent a storage unit for 10 weeks. 10. Each week is £28.90. Rent for 10 weeks and he gets 20% off. Okay, so this is 3 marks, and now we do have to show our working. So we need to first of all find out how much. So each week is £28.90. 1 week. If it's 10 weeks, we're just going to do 10 times that number. And when we do 10 times something, we don't need to worry, it's non-calculator anyway, but we can just move that decimal point 1 place to the right when we're timesing it. So it now becomes 28900. And the 00 is not really important because it's talking about, that's pence at the minute. So we know for 10 weeks rent, he's paying £289. However, he's getting a 20% discount. We know that when we're finding out, and again, I'm going to go a long way around here. When we want to find out what 10% of something is, we literally saying divide it by 10. So we've just done that. We've done the opposite here. Look, we've already just times it by 10. So when we divide it by 10, it's going to go back to what we had in the first place, 28.90. So that's 10%. If we want another lot of that, that's another 10%, which then gives us our 20%, which it says it wants 20% off. So we're going to add these numbers up. We've got a 0 to 0 is a 0. 9 add a 9 is 18 with a spare. 8 add 8 is 16 with our spare, becomes 17. And then 2 add 2 is 4, add our spare, becomes a 5. So we know that 20% of that number is £57.80. So he's going to get that much money off. It says how much will he pay in total after this offer. So we're going to go 28900, take away £57.80. When we see that number here, I don't know if we're going to go all the way into the taking away, but I would probably just look at it and say, right, I need 20p to get up to £58, or we can do it the full way. Let's do it the full way. So I was going to say let's take away £58 and then add 20p. That's just how my brain works. If we were to do it my way, I'll show you. So let's do it my way first, and I'm only saying it because I recognise things a little bit differently. I don't know, that's just the way I see the world is a little bit different, probably. So I'm actually making it. I'm taking off £58. I know I've got to then add 20p back on. But if I look at my sum now, this one, oh, can't do that one, got to take it off that one, can't do that one, got to take it off that one. Straight away, I can go, that's 0, 0 still. That's 9 take away 8, that's 1. That's 8 take away 5, that's 3. That's 2 take away 0, that's 2. So it's 231. Oh, I've got maybe 20p back on. So it's 2, 3, 1.20. So straight away, the sum that we're taking away becomes quite straightforward because we've taken away 58. We're taking away more than what we have to. Then we just added it back on. So we're dealing with zeros. If we're going to do it this way, it's not a problem. 0 take away 0. 0 take away 8. Oh, we can't do that. So we've got to cross that one out. Put an 8 there. Put a 1 there. 10 take away 8 is 2. 8 take away 7 is 1. 8 take away 5 is 3. And 2 take away 0. So it's still the same answer, but it's how you clump it up. If I was to clump that up, like I said, different people see it differently. So when we're talking about money, sometimes it's better to take away more, like 99p. Let's take away £1 and give them a penny back. It's just easy to work out in that way. Okay, so space for working, what I'm going to do, 28.9 times by 10 to show them I know that the full amount is 289. Then I'm going to say 20% equals 2 times 28.9. So that equals 57.8. Then I'm going to say 289 take away 57.8 equals 231.2. Oh. And the reason I put the O in there is because we're talking pounds and pence. So it's easier to keep it 20p rather than 0.2. Because then we think, oh, is that 2p? No, it's 20p. So £231 and 20p. Final answer, 3 marks. 1 for saying what 10 weeks is, 1 for saying what 20% is, 1 for saying what the final answer is. 3 marks. Okay, let's roll the screen down. Okay, we've now got what is going on here. Mia also wants to rent the storage unit. She wants to store 1,000 boxes in the storage unit. Each box needs 0.04 meters cubed of space. Sophia shows Mia this storage unit. Wow. Sophia says that only 3/4 of the storage unit can be filled with boxes. Is 3/4 of the unit big enough for Mia? Okay, so we've now got to do a little bit of maths here, a little bit of maths. So first of all, we could see if we're going to, let me do this 5 marks. So it's a big question. So we've got 1,000 boxes, all at 0.04 meters squared. Cubed, sorry, not squared. Squared is flat. Got 1,000 of them. So first thing we have to do is 1,000 times by 0.04. What do you remember about timesing by 10? 10 is decimal place 1. 100 times is decimal place 2. 1,000 is, believe it or not, decimal place 3. So we're going to move the decimal place 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. So when we haven't got a number there, it's a 0. Okay. So 1 place is to be in between that. 2 places in between the 4 and 0, and then 3 places is between the 0 and the next 0. So we know now that we need 40, because that's number 40 now, meters cubed for our 1,000 boxes. 1,000 boxes, right? 1,000 boxes. And then we can look at here, look how big this box is to find out the volume of something. It's 3D. So and it says there it's 3D because it's got 3. So we need 3 measurements. And we've got them there. We've got 2. And we've got 7.5. And we've got a 4. It doesn't matter what order you do these in, as long as you have a total. And which one you do first, again, depends on how you see it. I see 2 times something. I just need to double it. Okay, so I'm going to do this bit first. 2 times 7.5. I need to double 7, that's 14. I need to do 2 lots of a half, so that's 15. If I'm not sure, I can just put 7.5 below that and add it. So 5 add 5 is 0 is 1, and that's 15. So I can do it like that, but I don't need to. I can just do 2 times 7.5 is 15. So I know that. And now I've got times by 4. Do I know my 15th timetable off by heart? Well, I kind of do, but if we didn't, can I just go 15 times 4 really quickly down here? Yeah, 5 times 4 is 0 and a 2. 1 times 4 is 4. Add a spare 2 is a 6. Okay, so I know that this box here is 60 meters cubed. I've now got my sizes. Okay, I need 40. Okay, and I need to fit them into 60. However, what does she say? She says here, I'm only allowed to fill it 3/4 full. Okay, so that's my unit. That's how much space I need. So we now need to work out what 3/4 of this is. If we're talking 60 into 4 equal parts, we divide it by 4. And if we think about half of 60, that's 30. So then we do half of 30 is 15. So we can clearly see that each quarter is worth 15. We need 3 of them. So if we have allowed to use 3/4 of our unit, we can clearly see we have 45 meters cubed available. We need 40. So show how you decide. This last mark, so the 5th mark, I'm just writing yes in there. But if I've not put anything else in there, I'm going to miss out on 4 valuable marks. So what I'm going to do in here, I'm first of all going to go 0.04 times by pound. And I'm going to say that is 40. Okay, done that one. Then I'm going to put 2 times 7.5. Oh my gosh, I'm missing a key. Times 4 equals 60. Then I'm going to put 60 divided by 4. To find my quarters. If you think about your pizza quarters, straight across the middle, that's 15. And I'm going to put 15 times 3 equals 45. So that's all I'm doing. 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 4 mark. Yes, it's big enough. 5 marks. That's a big question for level 1, and I'm not going to sort of float around. So yeah, everybody will do that straight away, because that's why practicing these online papers is really important, so you can get used to not just the 1-pointers that we did on these 2, but the big ones that you've got to do lots of things. And the 5-pointers, well, we had a 6-pointer yesterday. They do occur. So be prepared for at least 1 big question on your non-calc. Okay, Sophia measures, let me go down a bit. Sophia measures the width of 5 storage units. Calculate the mean of this data, the mean. So again, it's not the hardest of the averages, because obviously we've got mode would be most common. That would be really easy. And it wouldn't be worth 3 marks, would it? Because we just say, oh, yeah, the most common one is the one that occurs most. There is no mode on that one. The median is the middle number when in order. So when I think of it, I think of small, medium, and large. So we put them in order and we choose the middle number. And it's not that one, it's the mean. The mean is add all up and divide by number of occurrences. So for a level 1 paper, we've got to add numbers up and then divide it by 5. So again, let's add them up. And the only way we're going to do it is by literally adding them up. So keep your numbers in a nice, so 3.9 obviously would be 3.90, just so I can keep my columns nice and straight. 407, 4.1, and that'll be a 0 at the end there. Look, that one. And then 396. Easiest way to add them up. Keep them in nice straight columns. To go on. No, you're talking to somebody else. 9, 15. I thought you were talking to me. I thought you were talking to me. So 9, that's 15. That's 10, 11. No, so that's 10. That's another 10. That's 20. Add our spare 1. Then we've got 4, add 3, that's 7. Add another 4, that's 11. Add another 4, that's 15. Add another 3, that's 18. Add another 2, that's 20. So we've now got a number, and I've put my decimal place. What? 2015, that's 10 years ago now. It's old news. I'm now 49. Okay, so we've now got 2015 as our total, like we said here, our total. Now we've got to divide it by the number of occurrences. And then we have 5 occurrences, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fairly straightforward. We're going to divide 5 into 20. We know that's 4 times. We know there's a point there, but look, because there was a point all the way down through each one. So we know there's a point there. So 5 into 15 is 3. So if you think about this one, though, if we're breaking 15 centimeters into 5 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 3, right? So it's not, we're not just going to put 3 there like that, are we? Because that would mean 30 centimeters. So the way we've understood this one, we've got to do it like a normal division. 5s, oh no, my pen's on rubber. 5s into 1 is no times. So 5s into 1 is no times. And 5s into 15, we look at them both together, 3 times. Hence why we get 4 meters and 3 centimeters. So yeah, don't be thinking, oh yeah, it's 4.3. That's the right answer. Because if you then times 4.3 times by 5, that becomes 1, and that becomes 20, and it becomes 21.5. Look, so it's different. So you must remember when we divide in, if you're looking at a number that you think, oh yeah, I know what 15 divided by 5 is, it's 3, but don't forget 5s into 1 is no times. So yeah, don't look at that number and think, oh, that's really easy. Yeah, it's just 4.5. No, 4.3, sorry, it's 4.03. How am I going to work it out? I'm going to put total, I'm just going to write here, total equals 20.15. And then I put 20.15 divided by 5 equals 4.03. It's not asked me to put the units. I'm not going to get a mark taken off me for putting it in there because it's talking about meters. It just says calculate the mean of this data. So it wouldn't matter if you put it in or didn't put it in, and they're not going to mark you down for putting the meters in because you're talking meters all the way through. Okay, last question on this non-calc. And if you look at the timing here, we've got 8 minutes left. So we've got a bit of time, but then you can see how much pressure that puts on you to get through 6 questions in 30 minutes if you're not sure about the bigger ones. So again, if you're working towards a level 2, I would definitely practice lots of level 1 non-calc bits first, and then ramp it up to level 2 non-calcs, just so you're used to doing that amount of questions in a time scale before the exam. Because if you don't try doing all the non-calc questions before your real exam, you'll realize that 30 minutes goes quite quickly. I know I've been talking and doodling and writing it in there, but still I've taken 20 minutes. A customer wants a storage unit that is 5 meters wide. The probability, so the chance of something happening, that the unit will be exactly 5 meters wide is 11 over 20. The probability that the unit will be larger than 5 meters wide is 2 in 5. Is the storage unit more likely to be exactly 5 meters or larger than 5 meters? So it's asking you, is 11 times in 20 bigger or smaller or the same as 2 chances in 5? When we look at those numbers, it's comparing fractions. But if we look at those numbers now, we're thinking, oh, yeah, of course, that one's bigger because that one's 11 and that one's a 20. But is it? Is it? Okay. If we know a bit about fractions, then you could clearly say straight away, this one is bigger because 11 is more than half of 20, whereas 2 is not more than half of 5. So straight away, if you know equivalent fractions, you can deduct that this one is the larger one. So is a storage unit more likely to be exactly 5 meters or wider? It's this number. It's more likely to be exactly 5 meters. If we weren't able to recognize those 2 fractions and think, oh yeah, that's a bit more than half, that's a bit less than a half, we're going to change them both into 20th. That one stays the same because it's already in 20th. This one, we also make it a 20th. And how we work out the denominator was we times that number by 4. So we've got to do the same to our numerator. By 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. So now we've got the equivalent fractions with the same denominator. We can clearly see that this one is more likely to happen. There's more chances of that happening. And so we can go back and put in here 11 20ths. So is the solution not to be exactly okay? So no, that's not the answer. So I'd have been wrong there. Exactly. So more chance. More chance. What? More chance of exactly 5. Okay. Right. And then show how you decide. Well, we can just say 11 20ths in there, and then we could say 2 fifths is the same as saying 8 20ths. And that would be your final answer. We could click next, and that'll take us out of the exam and say, are you sure? Are you sure you want to go? It won't say raise your hand in an exam because you're on your own and you're remote. Yes, I'm sure. I want to finish the section. I want to carry on. However, my advice, if you've got more than 15, 20 seconds left, have a quick look to see if you put what you think you put in the answer. So yeah, we definitely highlighted the right one there, or A1. Yes, we definitely put an answer in there. It was still 1 mark. I'm okay. This one, was it a justification? No, it's asking about money. So that's the right one. Yeah, it wasn't a yes or no. This one was a yes or no. So if I just put in here 45 meters or something, I'm like, oh my God, quickly, I can change it. So making sure you know if you put a yes or a no, and that's what it asks for. Likewise with this one, it asked me for the number, calculate the mean, so that's okay. And then the last one was a yes, no one again. It was a case of more chance. Which one is it? So it's more likely to be this one. And that's it. Show how you decide. And that's where we've clicked yes, I'm happy. I can go to the next one. I wouldn't sit and fall asleep for three or 4 minutes, because if you really do fall asleep and it goes straight into the next one at 0, you might like suddenly wake up from your power nap and you've got 48 minutes to go of an hour and a half exam. So while your brain's still in full mode, click yes, you'd like to finish section. It takes you right into the next one, so you can get straight back into it. And this time, as you can see, you're allowed to use your calculator. It needs to be, oh, where's my calculator gone? What other calculator? That's my phone. It needs to be a proper calculator. You can't take in your phone. You can't take in a smartwatch. It needs to be what you would say a calculator they used to use at school. And the reason being for that is because your phone tells you too much now. You could literally have things. Oh my calculator! You could literally have things stored in your phone on the notes about different things. So they're kind of avoiding people from doing that. And likewise, hence why your phone is set up as a secondary device behind you anyway. So there's no chance of you using your phone. Okay, let's have a quick look at the answers. I'm going to click finish test. I'll click out of there. Yes, I want to leave. And I'm going to go back into, which one did I say it was? Right at the top down. This one, no, 21, 25, I think. I did the top one today. I did the second one yesterday. Let's have a quick look. All right, we did. Oh, well, let me get back to top of my answers. See if we can definitely see. Yeah, that was the right one. It was the very bottom one. Look, when we're reversing through a number, we have to start with the one that was last. So yes, we're there. Look, straightforward. 7 times 7 was 49. Correct. 231 pounds 20p. That's it's quite small. My glasses don't go like that. 231 pounds 20p. It kind of showed you here. Look, what they're looking for. They're looking for the 10-week sum, which we had 289. They're looking for the discount, which was £57.80p, and then they're looking for the discounted price, which was £231.20p. The fourth question, not even the second question. The fourth question, we're looking at a unit. Would it fit all our boxes in? How they done it? So look, oh yeah, they've done that. Look, they've done our little number 0.04 times by 1,000. we did it by just moving the decimal place 3 times. It's got 3 zeros, so it's going 3 times. If it's got 100, that's got 2 zeros, that's 2 times. If it's 10, 1 0, it goes once. Okay, so then we said that was 40, and then we did the multiplication of how big the actual unit was, which said 60. And then we did 60 divided by 4 to make it into quarters, times by 3 to get 3 quarters, which was 45. And we deducted that, yes, we only need 40, so 45 is big enough. And so it does say, does it say? It should say, where does it say? The D. Does it say? No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, yes, there is. Yeah, yes, look, it says yes. We're good. And then we've got, I mean, look at that. And I always say this about maths. There's many ways to get to the right answer. And they've shown multiple different ways. Not like it's just they've done it in a different process, in a different order. They've still used the same sort of numbers. They've not kind of made things up. But so yeah, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways of doing that on a level 1 paper. Like I said, try and do the way that's most comfortable to you. Don't think, oh yeah, I'll have a go at that method in your exam because you might forget. So try and stick to the methods that you're used to. Okay, next one was find out the average, which was the mean average, which we said was add them all up, divide by number of occurrences. We added them all up and we got to 20.15. And then we divide that 21.5 into 5 equal chunks, which was 4.03. Remembering that just because we see 20 and a 5, we can't just put 4 and then a 3. It's 20 divided. If we were doing it properly, that sounds a bit funny. It would be 5 divided into 2 is none. And then 5 into 20 is 4. So yes, but generally, if that's going to be a naught, when we do present that, it's still that we're not going to put that naught there, are we? But we have to put that naught there because that's after the decimal place. So we had 4.03, and then the fifth and the sixth question was looking at the comparable data, because we had, excuse me, we had which is going to be the most, which one is it going to be? Oh, what they said? What they said? The other one, 8 out of 20. No, exactly, and 8 out of 20. Exactly, and 55%. Exact. Yeah, we said exactly. Okay, so why would we put exactly and then 8 out of 20? Interesting. We've got the right answer, but I don't think, right, so we've got the right answer, but why? Oh, they've shown why. They've shown what. I'm thinking, what does that mean? So yeah, exactly is 11 out of 11 over 20, that one. And why? Because it's bigger than 8 over 20. I'm thinking, what? My brain nearly got fooled. And what is that there? What is that on my computer there? I don't know what that is. Is that moving? No, don't know what that is. Some sort of virus. Maybe not. Hopefully not. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording. Oh, I'll stop sharing. Any questions on that? I mean, don't forget, if you've seen some level 1 stuff and you're working towards